first graders of St. Lucie County. Mrs. Tyson here. I am so excited to be with you again today. Today is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, and I can't wait to get started. So let's talk about our focus for today. So today's focus is actually RL12. Let me read to you what this focus will be and what our standard is going to look like today. So it's retell stories including key details and demonstrate the understanding of their central message or lesson. Now, you may have talked about this when you were in your classroom. This standard is very important because when we read literature stories like the story we read called The Dot, we're going to look at, did the character learn a lesson? And we do this by looking at the character's feelings and how they feel. Now think back to our story. And at the beginning of the story, the character was feeling a certain way. So feelings help us learn our lesson, okay? So Vashti, remember, was feeling sad, angry, and we'll talk more about that when we get started. Then her feeling changed toward the end of the story, and that's why I put a heart here with our character. So that happens a lot in literature stories. And remember, a lot of the times, the main character learns a lesson and another person helps them learn that lesson. So when we're reading today, I want you to ask yourself these questions. Can you be a good reader with me? Awesome. What is the character feeling at the beginning of the story, the middle, and the end of the story? So remember, beginning, say it with me, beginning, middle, end. Yay, awesome. How does the change help us learn a lesson? So the character's feelings change. How does that help us? Can we make a text-to-self connection with the story? And I want to see if you all learned a lesson from this story. So let's get started. Okay, boys and girls, so before we get into our story, what we're going to do is we're going to play a little game to review retelling, because a part of the standard today is retelling the story. So what I want you to do is go right up close to the TV screen, and I want you to tell me who the characters are. Can you tell me who the characters in our story are? Good. Give yourself a silent cheer. Awesome. So if you said the teacher, Vashti, and the boy, you retold that part of the story correctly. Good job. Awesome. The next retelling part of the story that I want you to think about is the setting. Where did our story take place? Yay! Give yourself a silent cheer. Awesome. So if you said art class or school, you are correct. Next part. What was our problem in this story? What was our character's problem? You all are so smart. Vashti said she can't draw. Remember how angry and upset she was? And what was the solution? How did Vashti solve her problem? Oh my goodness, you all are so smart. So the teacher encouraged Vashti, and she realized she really was an artist. She realized her talent. Good job. Kiss your brain. Awesome. That was an awesome way to retell the story. Okay, so now we're going to go back in the beginning of the story and remember our target. How was the character feeling at the beginning? That's going to help us remember how we learned our lesson or what lesson the character learned. So at the beginning of the story, how was Vashti feeling? I want you to take a look at her face. Awesome. So she was feeling angry and upset. Why was she feeling angry or upset? You're right. She was feeling angry and upset because she couldn't draw. So let's go to the middle of the story. How do you think Vashti feels at the middle of the story? Now remember, this is the event where her teacher actually put up her artwork on display. And this was after she saw her artwork. Good. Do you remember that word we used? You remembered. It's the word determined. So after she was feeling angry and upset, and her teacher displayed her artwork, she feels determined to make a bigger and better dot. Awesome. Okay, now let's go to the end of the story. Now, the end of the story is when her artwork was on display at the art show. How did her mood change? And I want you to take a look at her face in this picture. How did her mood change? Awesome. She was feeling happy. She was feeling proud, right? How is she feeling now? She felt proud at the end of the story. And she was even proud enough to help the little boy, right? So she was feeling proud enough of herself to help the little boy. So at the beginning of the story, how was she feeling? Let's review. Good. She was feeling upset. At the middle of the story, how was she feeling? Good. She was determined to make a better dot. And at the end, awesome. She was proud and she realized she really was an artist. Now, who made her realize that she really was an artist? That's right, her teacher. And how did her teacher make her realize that she was an artist? You're right, by displaying her artwork. So, boys and girls, think about the story. Did her teacher help her solve her problem? Yes, that's right. So did you learn a lesson in this story from Vashti? Awesome. So I learned a lesson in this story and I'm going to share it with you. And Vashti at the beginning of the story was starting to give up on herself, right? Right. And did she give up on herself? No, because with the help of her teacher, that really helped her get through her being upset, right? Her feeling at the beginning of the story. So the first lesson we learn is never give up. Okay? And I want you to take that lesson with you. So even when your online work is getting really difficult or your schoolwork at home is getting really difficult, I want you to take this lesson with you and I want you to never give up. Okay? The second lesson you learned was to believe in yourself. And Vashti actually showed that at the end. She believed enough in herself to help that little boy at the end of the story. So these are the two lessons I want you to take with you. And I want you to learn these lessons in your life. Believe in yourself and never give up, because I believe in you and so does your teacher. And I want you to never give up on your online work. So I want you to, at home, to tell someone the lessons that you learned in this story. Never give up and believe in yourself. I also want you to retell the story and retell the story to somebody and how Vashti was feeling at the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story. And boys and girls, I cannot wait for next week, and I hope you have a good rest of your week. Bye for now.